Hello, Querents, and welcome back to another Undecided Tarot Name video. This is a pick a card video. If you know what you're doing, you can feel free to skip ahead. But today's subject is about channeling your guardian angel. I am so excited that I'm being allowed to be part of this for you. I take this very seriously, personally. I think this is a wonderful thing. And I highly recommend that you grab your journal today. We're going to be exploring quite a bit in this. We're going to be exploring what messages they have, how you need to listen for, what things you need to be on the lookout for, various pieces today for how to best listen, how to best hear them, what advice, maybe things that you're not listening to. I'm really excited. Lots of really good stuff, and I'm so thankful that you are willing to let me hear what they have to say for you. If you're new to my channel or new to me reading for you, I'm Undecided Tarot Name. I am a semi-closeted tarot reader who is doing tarot online so I can keep on being able to share this wonderful thing that I love to do. I am somebody who hears voices. I do not get images. I get hear those messages. So I'm really excited to tap into your guardian angel and listen to what they have to say today. I am somebody who truly does believe that can be very impactful, but I do believe that the magic is mainly with you, the viewer. So if you are somebody who is kind of skeptical and stuff, that's totally okay. I actually am a big fan of some skeptic work in this because I think you should be very hesitant before just jumping into somebody reading your tarot. That's totally fair. So I'm a big fan of people kind of being I'm just gonna see what this is. It's a silly little video. By all means, I do ask that you try to give it your all though today. And if you are in here and you know what you're doing, you love a tarot reading, I ask that you allow yourself to receive whatever messages need to come in today. Now, with general readings, sometimes everything doesn't stick because it's a general reading. Find that more private readings do a lot better if you are looking for anything in particular or if you are wanting something very specific. I do have those available in the description, yada, 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 whatever. So if you are new though, or if you need a little reminder of how these work, go with your intuition. Now, if you're not used to using your intuition or you're unsure of what to go with, I just recommend kind of going with that gut feeling. Something in you tells you which pile to go for. From left to right, we have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the description below, you're going to actually find the timestamps. So if you immediately are I know what's calling me, I know where I'm supposed to go, feel free to jump ahead. For everyone else, maybe you need some keywords, maybe you need a little phrasing of what's going to ring true to you. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about these decks. I'm really excited, starting with the left pile, the New Moon Tarot. Now, this is a deck that immediately when I wanted to do a Guardian Angel deck, tarot reading, this deck called out and said, yep, I want to talk. I have messages. And I was absolutely, New Moon. You are definitely a deck for this. This is a pretty simplified art. Its color basis is black, white, and gold. It's got some animals, but mainly it's very, very easy on the eyes. It's going to have very simplified art and everything. I'm not sure what all is going to happen. I haven't done the readings yet. I'm not sure what it's going to say, but I am excited to see what it does say. The next pile in 2 is kind of its opposite. A watercolor with high details, lots of little finicky art in it. Sometimes certain things just pop out in this deck. So if you want something that has detail and wants some beautiful art to look at, especially if you've never looked at tarot decks or anything, sometimes this is a fun deck to look at. Shadowscapes is a great one, so pile 2 might be one for you. Now, if you are a classic Rider-Waite Smith fan, that is pile 3. This is the deck that if you sit and Google Three of Swords tarot, this is probably the art that you're going to see. Is from the classic Rider-Waite deck. This Rider-Waite Smith deck has muted tones to it and pretty easy to read art though. The watercolor has a little bit softer out borders to it, whereas the Rider-Waite Smith has very clear outlines and you're going to see the people and everything very easily. I don't know if I mentioned the Shadowscapes has a lot of people in it as well, as does the Rider-Waite Smith. And our last pile here is the Landscapes Tarot. I love this Landscapes Tarot. This Landscapes Tarot has been giving with soft imagery that is beautifully vibrant in colors, and as you may have guessed, it's a lot of landscapes. There is some animals in this, but there's very much just landscapes and beauty and natural beauty to it. It's focused on the landscapes with like animals added in because animals are part of like landscapes. So there is that aspect to it. I love this deck. It's got soft art, but it does seem to have an impactful punch. Just as a warning, sometimes it'll sit and let you know what you need to know. So if you have picked out your deck, hopefully, if you're still not sure, pause the video. Let yourself listen for a minute. Let yourself listen and hear. Maybe it's not the one you want it to be. Sometimes people want it to be a deck that's bright and colorful, but it's really one that's muted. Whatever it is. Just listen to your gut. Listen to your intuition. Listen to that little voice. That's the one to go with. All right. I'm going to assume you know where you're going. I'm excited to talk to your guardian angels. Pile 1, we're going to get started with you. Hello, Pile 1. I'm very excited to be joining you on this journey of hearing from your guardian angel. We're going to start off with just feeling the presence of your guardian angel and what that looks like in this point of time. What does that guardian angel kind of like feel like at this moment? Maybe just like a basic overtone kind of idea is what we're really going to start with. I did some shuffling off screen, but I want to try and hear from them. It's feeling like it's towards the bottom. The presence of your... Yeah, okay. So I've got the card here. The Two of Cups. A lovely card to start off with. This is like... I always think of like very close relationships. You might have somebody in your life who you immediately think of. This is like your best friend. The person you're like so... Like, this is the person you are meant to be around. And if it's not something that you have currently, it may be something that you will want to keep an eye out. Somebody might be showing up in your life that's going to be very important to you. All right. I'm back, Pile 1. A car horn went off. Two of Cups is a great card for friendships. And this, like, it can be romantic. But I think really in this situation, it's far more about like those deep relationships and friendships. You're going to be seeing your guardian angel show up in the relationships in your life. How are you looking into the presence? Like, what is the good and amazing things that your guardian angel is telling you through what people are showing you and saying to you? It's in the hugs from your friends. It's in the like gifts that your friend knows that you love this candy, that kind of a thing. That's what we're going to be looking at here in this Two of Cups is how do we know each other so well that we are being able to feel the presence and the caring and guidance from our guardian angel. And this doesn't mean you shut it out, by the way. Don't shut out whatever, people are telling you. Sometimes it's negative too. Sometimes it's things that we don't want to hear, but we should hear. Y'all, I hope you have that friend who will tell it to you like it is, because this is that person you need. This can be an incredibly emotional thing too. The overflowing emotion sometimes of cups that I immediately am getting here is that, hey, you're somebody who needs to have like another person kind of match you. This kind of yin yang kind of deal. So it might be somebody who is not necessarily like you in the same way, but they're like a little opposite. I don't know. I love those friendships where they're like very much complete you. You probably have this person in mind that you're like, I know who we're talking about. Keep talking. Where do we know who it is? And totally fine. You're like, move on. This is the person that you need to like open up to. You guys can have a much deeper relationship and like talking, and you're going to see the love and impact from your guardian angel, I think, through this person. I also want to look into how they're going to reveal themselves in like everyday life so that you know you're not alone. And I love that we have started with the Two of Cups because you're going to see people really show up in your life. And I think you're going to see it within all of the wonderful things you love and you find good to see. I think of like the smelling the roses idea, but like there's little things in the world that like we can really have in a reminder of being wonderful. It's in the cup of tea that's warm and nice and comfy to hold. It's in the cup of coffee that goes down smooth. It's in that lovely pastry you let yourself have today. It's those little things that you allow yourself to have. And I want to see what your angel wants to reveal themselves so that you know that you're not alone. How do we know you're not alone? What is your guardian angel trying to like let you know and let you see and be aware that what they want to reveal within themselves? And it's feeling like this card. Oh, we have Judgment. Now this is an interesting card to get for this, I think, in my opinion. Judgment's a wonderful card. I love Judgment. First and foremost, we have a clear depiction of hands, beautiful nails on them. I love that. And you are going to see in the actions. Again, we were discussing about like actions before. We're really going to see the actions. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. Your guardian angel's not left you alone. You're not, feeling abandoned or anything. This is good. They are here for you. They want you to know they're there. And they are here to help you out. And you need to be aware of the actions that people are showing you. And being okay with the emotions that can come from that. Sometimes it's hard to accept help. Sometimes it's hard to say you need help. I'm going to let you know. You should accept it. And you should be okay with it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being like, yeah, things suck. And I think that's part of that like emotional thing is like knowing that like, you know what? Today's not good. I'm not happy about today. And I think that's important in this to keep and realize and be aware of. And that help you most need from your angel may not be what you think you need. So we're going to look at what help is needed because I think you're going to be seeing that emotional help coming through. I just keep getting like the hands that are going to reach out for you, the hands that are coming for you in not a bad way, but like the hands that want to hug you. And I don't know if you've like fully realized how many hands want to hug you and want to take care of you and want to help you because there's something I'm getting ahead of myself because I really think we need to pull the next card and it's this one. And this is about like what you might have a preconceived idea of what you think you need, which if you are journaling, I highly recommend pause, write it down, what you think you need, because this is what you need. This is what actually you need. And maybe you're realizing it, like, you know what? We're already getting an idea and you're like, oh, this is what I need. This is actually what you are needing. It may not be the same as what you think you need. Maybe you had a preconceived idea before coming into this reading, but what you really need is to say no to temptation, or at least recognize the temptations. Know what's coming into your life and where you're going. You have options, by the way. There are choices in life. There are things that happen in life. How do I want to say this? There are moving pieces in life, and you can accept and do something about them. You're not just sitting in this world trying to figure it out. It can feel really hard, I think, to feel like you're navigating alone. And it can be very tempting to isolate. To just be like, let me shut everybody out. I have to deal with my problems by myself. Again, we're going back to that help thing. That help thing keeps coming up. You don't have to shut everybody out. You don't have to shut anyone out necessarily here. I think what you're doing is you're saying no to the hands that want to help you. You're saying no to the things that feel like they're tempting, but they're not. They're actually just like genuine people trying to be nice. Accept that. That's okay. I think there's an interesting thing here of like the devil often has like a duality to it of like what's tempting and what's good, what's bad, this idea. And we have this Two of Cups. And we might need to be in, this is probably a moment of like self-reflection. That thing that you've kind of been like, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give it up. I like that thing. I like it a lot. Even though, and you do not lie to me, you know you need to stop it. This is your sign to actually put that into action. This is your sign you need to be done with it. And yeah, no, you need to be done with it. We're going to actually pull a card now, how to like support that decision. How do we move forward? How do we better ourselves? How do we of this plane, because your guardian angel can help you and support you in this realm. It doesn't have to be on another dimension, another plane of existence or anything. Earthly here, what can you do for help? I think we're already seeing the friends, we're seeing the people that are important, we're having these emotions, and probably you're having a rough time. Boy, I hope you grabbed a journal and are taking time to pause and write down, because there's a lot of really good things here, and I need you to like take some time and be like, yup. Oh, yes, temptation makes me think of this. Your angel doesn't want to leave you here. Your angel's not asking you to just like sit and wallow and be like, you can't do it or whatever. They can help you do this. The earthly support you're going to receive is the Seven of Cups. There's so many options. You have multiple options, which again, I think the devil also wanted to let you know about the multiple of choices, but you have so many options. Now, with a lot of options, there is a cautionary thing to this. Some of those options aren't really options. And one of those options I think that you're probably like considering, hardcore, admit it to yourself. I need you to be very honest. It's just you, me, and some cards. That's all that's happening right now. You need to be okay with the fact that quitting this thing is hard and that you don't actually want to do it. And that one of those options is that you would just quit and not do it. And then we just pretend that this was all never happened. You never got called out. None of this happened. That is an option. I'm going to let you know I don't think that's the correct option here. I want you so desperately to be able to like look and go, what are my options? There are so many things. And again, I had some specific stuff. Sorry. I have some specifics coming in my head and this is general, so it's not helpful to everybody. But there are groups, there are people, again, we're coming back to this people. There are hands that want to help you move forward. This is not a decision that you can take lightly. I understand that. This is hard. This is a really hard deal. I do not envy you in this position. I think this is really rough to be in. I'm sorry that this is how it's happening, but I really want you to take some time and realize what options you have. And yes, if you're journaling, I'm going to keep saying it, but if you're journaling, take a moment here. Pause, write down what your actual options are. Who do you reach out to? Maybe it's reaching out. You might have like 6 friends that you write down and you go, do I reach out to X, Y, Z, P? This person, that person, this person or that person. Oh, I also have this person in my life. And maybe it's realizing I need a group of people to have my back. So maybe you realize you need to reach out to 2 people. Maybe you really like that you reach out to 3. Whatever is comfortable in this situation. Accountability is really good and important here. Don't let your friends just be friends that you only help. It's so much better and so much deeper for you to be able to lean on each other. But that also means that you have to accept help in situations. Again, I know it's hard. If you're in the States, if you're in the United States of America, I understand that it's kind of a culture, depending on where you live, that can be like, you only give, you never receive. This can also just be how you were parented and stuff. So some of you might just relate to this in general. You need to allow to be able to receive. That's just how it is right now. And that can be so difficult. You're not crazy. Like, genuinely, you're not crazy. This is rough. Like, I don't know how else to say this. This is a rough reading in the sense of, like, really confrontational. This is one that, like, meditate. Take some time. But I also think you know what you need to do in this situation. And now we just, like, have to build it up. Now, I do want to say that I want to pull another card that, like, how can you specifically help yourself? I'm hoping for kind of a more actionable card here, something that we can like really look at and go, that's the thing. This card, yeah, this card wants to talk. Ooh, the Nine of Cups. Okay. Yeah. Okay, first and foremost, I want to talk about all these cup cards, because yes, we have a lot of cup cards that have come into this. Oh, and we have the moon phases. This gives me the idea that this is going to take a long time. This decision feels like one you've put off because you know it's going to take a long time. All right, then. That makes sense. If you manifest, this is the time to put all of that manifesting power into this Nine of Cups. If you could I know this is going to sound cheesy, but like mood board it, make a nice like Pinterest board or something. Do the magazine cutouts, get it on a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard, a cereal box, whatever. I don't care what it is. You need to visualize, truly see what you need in your life. Truly visualize what's going on. There's so much emotion in this. Oh my gosh. I am like so heated right now, and I don't know if it's because like I feel like I'm fighting you on this or what it is, but your guardian angel like really wants you to do this. This is heavy. This is rough. Wow. The nice thing about this is that like this emotional journey is going to come to such a beautiful end. The Nine of Cups deals with gives me like this idea of like things are going to end up so much better, and you're gonna be like, this is where I wanted to be, which I really love. And I need you to like imagine what that actually looks like. What does that mean for you? What does that look like for you? An example in my head, it keeps coming in of like interestingly, Marie Kondo's like philosophy of like, what does a clean home look like to you, keeps coming in, and specifically knowing what that means. It's I think she had a client a client in it that was asking for like a girly room, one that had like pink and frills and a like beautiful lamp, and she took a bath every night with bubbles, and like this was the life she clearly had pictured. And what does your life, without everything that you are, without the pieces that you're trying to let go, what does that life look like? Clearly think about it. What does that look like? Maybe you sit down and journal about what that means. Does your day-to-day life look like XYZ? Does it mean you're no longer reaching for something that you have? Does it mean that you're no longer having something take up space mentally, emotionally, physically? Sometimes there's things that we don't realize is actually part of the mental burden that we keep, and it's an actual physical object. What stuff do we need to realize? Within this journey, I would recommend potentially looking at a therapist. I am not by any means, in any sense, a medical person. So if there is things coming up in this that you are potentially triggered, or you're having a really hard time with, the process of getting a therapist in general might be even part of this. It's hard, but I think this might be a really good thing to have. The processing with a mental health professional can be very important. Now, for some of you, you might not need that. It might be something else, or maybe there's a different structure that you know or that you need to get into. But a structure of some sort seems to be very helpful in this. There's a lot of emotional baggage that can come with this, it seems, that I would be very cautious and careful of just being like, oh, it's fine, and then like chucking it to the side. Like, I wouldn't do that. This is a time that reaching out to others, and now saying like a structured thing makes so much more sense with the judgment. Like, this is not just your friend's hands, like I thought before. This is also like professional hands. These are people, again, we have the beautiful professional manicure. But that's like the idea is that like there's professionals that can help you. There are people who have already gone through this and know how to help people through it. This is your time. This is your time to fix it. This is your moment. Now, you are not alone in this journey because your guardian angel is with you. And our final card is going to be about what blessings your guardian angel will bestow or help you with. We'll see exactly what this ends up being for you. But you're not alone. And I think that's like the big important thing here. Oh man, this card is like, it's this card, this card, this card, this card, this card, this card, these both. Ooh, you got 2 cards. Oh, we have the 10 of Wands and the Lovers. Okay. What an interesting... I love this. The Devil and the Lovers often in many decks have similar art. They don't in this case. But I often think of them kind of as... They are cards that kind of tie together. With the Lovers, we kind of have that choices again of kind of going back to choices. The Devil actually... When I initially talked about the choices that the Devil has, I usually refers back to the Lovers of what choices you have. You need to reflect on what choices you have, and that it can be familial as well. Sometimes you need to involve others into your choices. Again, I'm not surprised that you need others in your choices because there's a lot of relationships and emotions happening here. We had 0 pentacles or swords coming in here. I am slightly concerned about the lack of swords and pentacles, especially because sometimes financially it's hard to seek help because of the financial burden. And this is where you might need to like discuss with others what kind of options do you have. Taking the time is going to be part of this. Is that, yes, you're right, this is a long process, as we've discussed before. This is going to be something that you do need to be aware is not quick. And I know that's frustrating to say. I think it's one of those things though that like you're going to want to do this correctly. In the long term, it's going to be shorter to do it correctly than screw this up. So don't skip steps. Please don't. It's going to feel very heavy. This is going to be, again, we're going to have a lot of responsibilities in this, and there's a lot of things that are happening in this. Your guardian angel is giving you the spark to do this. Your guardian angel is here to help you do this. You have people in your life. Man, you have so many people in your life, which is wonderful. I'm so excited for you because there are people in your life who care about you, whether you are willing to accept their help or not. That's the greater question is, are you willing to accept their help? You should be, because they want to help you. It can be really hard to accept help. I know I've said that multiple times, but I really need you to understand that it's okay to accept help. It's fine. It's part of the deal. It's what happens. It can be rough. The swords aspect being missing here, I'm concerned about because I do think there is a huge mental blockage here. Again, professional help may be needed because I am only a tarot reader. I interpret cardstock. That's quite literally all I do. I am not a professional in any sense of the way. I'm very concerned that you are kind of trying to do things on your own when you need to be getting help. And that might be in a professional sense. It might be seeing a doctor, a dentist, a therapist, a psychologist, whatever that looks like. And you need to be aware of what that means. I understand that there's probably some financial crisis. And if you are watching this recently to its release, I'm aware the United States of America is having an issue right now. It's having some stuff where funding and everything is kind of up in the air. But this is the time to reach out to what you can get to. Your community has options. You are being blessed by your guardian angel with amazing people. I think community with this wands, for some reason, is like clicking in my head. Like, there's community you need to be realizing about. The Lovers combo with that wands is seeming like there are people and there is a community. There are resources in your community. Use them. And if you're like, well, I could afford, you are doing them help. The best thing you can do is use the resources in your community. I'm not even joking when I say this because a lot of places get funding by how many people use their resources. Use their resources. Use the things that are near you. It's okay. I also think there's some really good bonding here. among, I don't even want to say family. It's more of your found family. I'm not getting a clear, like, it's my mom that's going to be, which is, it's very potentially that, but like, your found family, the people who you've realized are truly your family, this is going to be something that really makes you guys stronger together and far more impacted together. Like, this is, y'all are going to be together, like, in such a true way. This is like a family moment kind of a deal. I know that sounds really cheesy, but I want you to do this. Your guardian angel wants you to do this. I can't tell. Like, no, I think this like really strong, like, fire I have for you is your guardian angel trying to be like, come on, we can do it. We got this. We can do it. Let's go. Let's go do the thing. And your guardian angels got your back, man. They got your back. I'm like literally so excited for you in this. Because it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long journey. But it's gonna be so good for you. Staying true to it is gonna be important. The temptations to like fall off this path are constant. It's always gonna be tempting to take on other options or to just say, I quit. Because it's easy. It's such a stronger thing to be able to say, I need help. I'm leaning into others. That's powerful. Truly powerful. Pile 1. Your guardian angel believes in you. Your guardian angel's ready for you to take that next big step. Take some time and reach out to your people. You've got this. I believe in you. And thank you so much for allowing me to pass this message on to you. Truly. I wish the best for you in the rest of this year. Hello, Pile 2. This is the Shadowscapes Tarot. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this and to be able to hear what your guardian angel has to say to you. I'm excited to explore this with you. Highly recommend grabbing a journal, as I think this may end up having lots of deep thoughts and may have some ideas and such that you're not sure, or like may take a bit more and may have some pausing and trying to think through things as we go in here. And we're going to just start off with how can you feel the presence of your guardian angel in your life at this time is our first start. And interesting. I think this is card number 2. This is card number 2. There's some important cards coming here. Okay. I'm going to first take off this card though, because that's card number 1. And then we're actually going to, interesting. This deck has like some, seems like the top of this deck is important. So we're going to push that to the side, but we are going to start with feeling the presence of your guardian angel, and we are going to see that with the 6 of Cups. Now, there we go. All right, so we have the 6 of Cups here to start us off with, and this cute little tea party that's happening. We have multiple characters showing up, and I think this is a moment of like the things that you remember. I think this is like nostalgic. I don't know if anybody else has had a tea party, but I think reaching for those nostalgic things, those things that remind you of your childhood, are going to be really important. Your guardian angel is trying to help you with helping your inner child. Now, this could mean a couple different things, and I'm sure the rest of the cards are going to be far more informative on exactly where we're going with this, but there seems to be some inner child work here that maybe needed to go further into, or potentially even trauma that might need to be discussed. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not a medical professional in any sense. So if we do end up in that, potentially looking into getting therapy or anything, or seeking out medical professionals may be something to look into and think about. Highly recommend. But I love this art, and I'm going to see if I can get us to focus just a little bit more. And if you have your journal near you, I would recommend kind of taking a moment, pausing the screen, and seeing what jumps out to you. There's a host of characters in here. We have, I believe, druids. We have a couple of stuffed animals, and we have our main girl with the red ribbon. And we have fish and stuff. And like, what popped out to you initially? I think that might be important as we go along here. But this beautiful innocence that comes with this childlike wonder is going to be something that we're going to kind of keep coming back to probably throughout this entire reading. And this is going to be important to notice and not turn away from things that may feel childish. Your guardian angel wants you to take care of the kid that used to be there. You know, the 8-year-old you is still living within you. The 6-year-old you is still living within you. Along with, you know, depending on how old you are, all your past selves, the teenage, through the 20s, through the 30s. It just depends. But all of the versions of you in the past are still there, and they've made you who you are. And it's not a bad thing that they exist, or that like maybe you got time to grow, but something in them I think is still trying to call out to you. And I'm interested to see who you mainly kind of attached to immediately. Was it a character that feels a little stuffed? Maybe you feel a little stuffed away. Maybe you feel like you've pushed your inner child out. Was it a druid where it's kind of become more part of you and you can pull it out and let it go again? Or are you the girl who's hosting the party and you are trying to figure out your place in this world and practicing all of these things where how do you do social things and how do you have social conversations? And that's like what tea parties are great at, is that they're where how kids can practice having different social things and enacting out what they see adults do and such. And I think there's an important thing of potentially, like, do you feel like you're constantly playing as somebody else? It can very much be part of this. So I think there's a lot we're going to be able to pull off of this and kind of talk about as we keep going. But take a moment, journal down some of your original thoughts. Maybe maybe the red ribbon is specifically something you've been seeing lately, or maybe you need to keep noticing. So don't let that necessarily go away. There's different things in here that we might end up seeing repeated through the cards. So we're going to kind of keep an eye out for various pieces, but definitely your presence of your guardian angel is going to be an innocent, nostalgic kind of feel, something that makes you happy and warm inside. I almost think of like a cup of hot chocolate, or you get like cozy in a blanket and there's something warm to it. That kind of hug feeling of a blanket. And I think of that when this card comes up. That's the feeling I immediately get in my soul, is like a nice warm feeling. And whatever causes that feeling for you is how your guardian angel is presenting. And that doesn't mean to say goodbye to it or anything. So I do want to move on to what signs in everyday world your angel is revealing itself to you. Especially if you might feel a little isolated. This tea party you are the only one with some druids, but you're the only human there. And that can be a little lonely. And you're not alone, because your guardian angel is here to help. Now, it's definitely this card here. I think I said this one, and then I had some mixed messages, which is why I ended up putting it to the side. But we're going to see here. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. Good things. And this immediately gives me good things coming. I got, sometimes the wheel is just constantly turning. So if you're feeling like you're kind of stuck in a moment that if things feel stuck, things are not. They are constantly changing, whether we like it or not sometimes. But they are. Now, I don't have the best camera in the world, but I don't know if you can see the figures and the flowers. Because initially I just saw the flowers, but now I'm noticing the little pieces in there. And the figures are I think they're fairies, are flying around the wheel as well. And there's movement in that. Things are constantly changing. And if you notice, they're moving into the darker side. And I don't mean that in things are getting dark. I really do think this is a good light thing. But they're bringing light to the darker side, because you can see that they kind of emit light. And they're bringing light to the entire piece. I'm trying to figure out what is in the bottom corner. I think it's just like a little peek hole to the outside. I'm not fully sure what that is. Interesting. But I like it. Now, I think there could be a couple different things in seeing this. The circular shape immediately. I think something with wheels might be part of this. I know that seems very on the nose, but I feel like there is something about blue circles that you'll be seeing. And these light blue roses down here. Everything is we've gotten lots of blue tones. There are cards with very different coloring. I know the back of these are purple, but there's also far more colors in this deck. So it is interesting that we've gotten this kind of blue tone. And the blues keep jumping out at me in this particular image. The blue of the flowers, the blue in the circle, and like this reads so much blue. I know there's a ton of yellow on this card, but it's the blue that pops out. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of blue circular, blue motion. Blue motion just came through. Some blue motion is your sign. Blue motion. Okay. Yeah, I got a very clear statement of blue motion. Okay. we're gonna move on because I don't want to mess with that, and there's potentially more to come, but blue motion is very, very pivotal. Write that down, man. I'm gonna write it down because I'm flabbergasted. That was a very clear message for you, was blue motion. So we're gonna see how else that helps us out. I do want to look into now what is going to help you the most from your angel. And this is not necessarily what you think you need. This is what is going to help you most. Not necessarily what you think you need. Again, these cards. It's going to be this top one. Yep, there we go. That's the 2 and the 3. It really wanted to talk. And it's the Page of Swords. This is a lovely card. I have been having a lovely time with the Page of Swords lately. The Page of Swords, though, is a card that can be hard to handle, in my opinion. I really think that the Page of Swords is a card almost to say, hey, you need to bring the excitement back, and you need to kind of get, like, you almost need to get, so one, we're going to try to refind our wings, is kind of, in this imagery, it's like, kind of getting back to flying. There's a baby swan in there, and it's that learning to fly again, and that power of flight, and that desire to fly that's going to be really important and really wanted. I do think, though, that part of that is going to be also communication can be a relearned thing, and sometimes it's a very hard thing. And often with the Page of Swords, I find that, like, communication can be part of this process that can be really hard to do, hard to properly and correctly make sure that both parties are in the same element, like same page and everything. Page of Swords. That was not intended, I promise. But this Page of Swords is so excited to do things that I think you're not willing to learn from others. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm thinking of, like, the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, and these are people who are, like, incredibly perceptive and intellectual, and they're very knowledgeable. They know what's going on, and you need to be looking to them. The page, reports to them in a sense, but, like, also is learning. And interestingly, if in other decks, sometimes the page is called the princess, and the princess ends up marrying the knight and becoming the queen kind of thing. And I feel like there's almost this, like, you're trying to move up and you're trying to get up on the ladder. You're trying to, like, figure out where you are, and it's not here. You feel kind of towards the bottom and you're trying to move up. And the page really is trying to learn, and, the page is trying to become the knight in this sense. And potentially maybe the king or a queen or whatever. Some sort of leadership kind of thing. But you're at the base level and learning in that excitement that you are, because this feels almost like a new opportunity or something. And your guardian angel wants you to know that this excitement is great, but you also have to, like, listen. the listening part of communication can be really hard. I think there's a lot of excitement happening, but you need to also remember that that like listening is part of communicating. It's a two-way street. It's conversations go both ways. All of that. I think that's really important in this, is that you need to remember to listen. Who haven't you been listening to? That's the question that just popped into my head. Who haven't you been listening to? Your guardian angel wants you to think about who you haven't been listening to. Has it been your guardian angel? Has it been somebody in your life? Is it somebody you know? Did somebody come into your head immediately and now you're trying to shut it out? Don't. Write it down. I know it might seem silly. I know it might seem like it's not true. Or it might be even hard to like realistically know that was the person you put down. But take the time. Write it down. This is usually somebody that you might not, in my opinion, the Page of Swords can be, usually a younger person. I also feel like this is probably somebody you don't get along with. This feels like a clashing of the swords in a sense of like, I don't get this person. And that's where your communication has kind of fallen apart, is what I'm reading. And that might be why we need to know that the good times are coming. And it might be because you need to either be done with this, you need to like actually finish and cut things off, or you need to get things cleared up, like, you know, get everything out there and with this person and have all of the cards on the table. I'm making a lot of puns today that are not necessarily what I mean. But like getting all of, you know, all your facts out, all what you believe, all what you think, but like also remembering to listen to what they think. And if it still doesn't work, you can end it. And if you guys can make it work, awesome. Because this is a general reading, it can very much depend on the person. Some of you are going to be one way, some of you are going to be the other way. That's probably, yeah, I don't have a very clear sense from the guardian angel of like, for all of you, that it's going to be one way. It's very much sounding and seeming like that this is going to be one of two ways, or both ways. I'm now noticing like the black and white of these swans and her dress versus her wings. And yeah, it feels like there's two different options there. We're going to go into things that can earthly support you. So now like your guardian angel still got your back, but like what here on earth, this plane, this existence can help you or support you? There's going to be other beings, other things here that can help you. I'm going to shuffle a little bit because it feels like it's in here. Like it feels somewhere in here, this like chunk, that one. Oh, it was the one I just put on the bottom. This one. Okay. And what can help you? Oh, is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. This is great. I'm excited about this. Let me get you focused in here. This is good. I like this. This is really good. So now we have our first green card. Everything else has been like those blues, purples, and now we have green. Pentacles usually deals with money, by the way. If you're not super familiar with cards. So sometimes I think that it's the earth tone. This is, to get like, you know, what here on earth can we get? This is the earth card. We have these lizards, I believe. They're kind of like fantasy lizards on here. They're hanging out. They're doing stuff on these branches. But like, I really like this moment of, how do I want to say this? There's so much potential. You're at the beginning. The ace is the beginning of the cycle. You're at the beginning. So that means there's so much that is here to support you. There's so much that can be available to you. Now, I think this might even be Because interestingly, we've had 2 lone figures, and now we have a bunch of multiple. And I understand that the druids could be, in the Wheel of Fortune, we have multiple too. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune, we have multiple. I didn't take note of that earlier. I think this is an interesting thing because, to me, sorry, I'm focusing you in. There we go. These cards, our first and our third card, feel very solo. They feel very solo, like you are trying to take things on by yourself, even if you wish for support. I think that you're trying really hard to keep a family, found family, friends, something here really close, and things are going to have to get cut off. The Page of Swords, now I see this balance again. And I think the reason it didn't give me a clear message is because in order to gain, we have to lose. In order to get, we have to give up. We give, we get receive. We have to keep the balance. If you create, you have to deconstruct. There's just all of these balances. All of the balances. In order to get your goals, something has to go. This could be money goals. This could be a job that you're specifically trying to get. This could be something that you deeply love, deeply care about. But I'm curious what that exactly looks like for you and where that levels out. Because I'm going to be real. I think part of me is not fully sure what this Ace of Pentacles wants. And I think it might be because I need more cards. But good things are coming is what I'm getting very good positive things. But I do think this is also like there's some balance here that you need to realize. And yeah. And to here on this like earthly plane, you're going to have to realize to keep some of the things that you love so dearly and so much, you are going to have to get rid of other things. And that's really, really hard. Like very hard. So, how can you help yourself the most? What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? It's this. Oh. It's this card. Okay. What can you do? Here we have the Hanged Man. Oh. Okay. So, the Hanged Man. And interestingly, with this art, we have somebody who kind of just like relaxingly looks like they're hanging out. Now, I'm not fully sure if this light is holding them. Quite often, the Hanged Man is kind of hung up. Suggestively by the name Hanged Man, is kind of tied up in a way that like he's just kind of chilling. Now he's kissing a fairy. Looks like there's some druids around, and he's not alone. And it's very relaxed, but I'm my initial gut instinct is that now you have to just wait, and that sucks because you want to have an actionable thing to do. But you don't get one. You have to pause. And I think it's also like this kind of all these people again. I think it's this reconnection because it feels like you're soloing something and you have to let go potentially of a person. Kind of when we were discussing that Page of Swords, you're potentially cutting somebody off there. I don't think that's for all of you. I think there might be somebody else that's kind of for everybody else, and I'm not fully sure exactly what's going on with that. But for some of you, it's a very clear, like when we were discussing that Page of Swords, for those of you who got the cut off message, we need to do that. But for the Hanged Man, I often think this is like, you're stuck and you're not, and it's definitely not by your choice. You don't get to, but you're not alone. Like, you're kind of stuck, but you're not alone. I think you're just like, unfortunately stuck and you don't want to be stuck, which sucks. I think nobody wants to sit where they're at and like be in this position where they're like, now I'm just here all the time. That can be very frustrating. But you're not alone. People are willing to meet you where you're at. People are willing to come to you. There's some fairies, there's some druids. Again, the druids also came in here. The druids came to you as well. I think also interestingly here is that this makes sense for why my Age of Pentacles, or the Ace of Pentacles, didn't scream so loud, because a lot of the time I feel like it's like we're going to be going to do things. We're going to go and do things. I feel like with the aces, it's like, yeah, let's get excited. We're going to start something. And this one isn't, because it's like, no, we know there's a lot of potential and stuff, but like, you got to pause. You got to take a moment. You got to like sit and think. We need to take some time, probably for some rest, for reconnecting with everybody, re-getting into everything and knowing everybody, knowing what's going on. That's all important here. All of that is very important here. Now, like I said before, you're not in this alone. And this is the Guardian Angel spread that we are doing. We are tapping into the Guardian Angel for you. And we're going to finish off with what blessing or blessings will your angel bring into your life? What does your angel want to bring into your life? Now, this is calling to be riffle shuffled. So, uno momento. Ooh, that felt good. Another one, I think, for it. Needs another. Yeah, all right. Some energy in there. I was like, yep, we need it. And your blessings is the Page of Cups. Ooh, I love having that double page page energy. That young excitement. Specifically with the Page of Cups, creativity comes out. And what are you willing to create and make in your world? We have this beautiful mermaid who is making something, who's like, it looks like she's like made a beautiful dish and is like ready to eat it. Potentially this is like a perfumed, I keep thinking like how much she's like smelling it, like it's got a good scent to it, whether it's like something she made like to consume or something like she's concocted to like sit in, I guess not a room, well, maybe a room in the bottom of the ocean, but like to sit and like let the space smell good. And I think that's an interesting thing. That was like my immediate kind of like idea of this card, is that like she's immediately like filling the space to smell a certain way, or at least enjoying it. And I think the blessings that your guardian angel is going to, excuse me, goodness sakes, isn't going to let you know about, is giving you a new creative opportunity. It's probably something you've not done before, although it is potentially something you've thought about for a while. But yeah, a new opportunity to create something, or something to create. It might be that you're making a dish you've wanted to for a long time in the cooking analogy, or stepping your level up in whatever skill you already have, but it's going to feel like a brand new thing. Whatever that means to you. Maybe it is a completely new creative hobby. You take up writing or journaling or knitting or crochet or sewing or whatever. You start scrapbooking. I don't know. Whatever it is. Cooking. Or it might be something that you're just like, this is the time for you to kind of get into the next level and realize that there's still so much to learn. And that's a really great place to be, is that you're not done with your hobby. It just keeps expanding. So you might be learning a new technique and you kind of get humbled, where you get stuck in that point of like, oh, I'm back at the bottom. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You've got so many talents. I just realized, hence, I've stopped and paused there for a second because I realized that we have the Wheel and the Hanged Man. And in between them is a card called Justice. Now, Justice comes up sometimes. Sometimes it comes up for legal things and sometimes it doesn't. But Justice is about the balances between something. And so I'm not surprised. We've talked about balance quite a bit here with the Page of Swords. And like that black and white, I kept seeing that balance. It's interesting to me that we had the Wheel of Fortune come up, which is usually just like hey, things are constantly changing, and it's a card that in the cycle of the Major Arcana is coming out of a time of isolation and to change into this person who is going to be making a better thing. And then there's kind of this time of decision making, we're doing the thing. I feel like Justice is often an actionable, like, things are happening. If it's a legal matter, sometimes it is. It's just like things are going to have a verdict. Something is going to happen, and I feel like we kind of got that with that Page of Swords, and I wouldn't be surprised if this Ace of Pentacles kind of ends up leaning into that more, because it feels like we have that moment in the cycle here that things have to be decided. I'm going to keep coming back to this, but that cutting off that person, things have to be decided, and I think that's where that Justice card is, and then you're just kind of stuck. Because now you have to readjust after that verdict was done. After that thing has been made. Moving on from there is accepting the ending. And in this case, I think is really like accepting what endings have to happen. And I think the lovely thing that your guardian angel is helping you with is something to pour that emotion and pour those feelings into with a new thing to do. And don't ignore it. Allow yourself that time. Allow yourself the time to grieve, to be upset, to have your feelings be feelings. That's all very important. Interestingly here, we also didn't pull any wands. I don't feel like, in that case, the wands are a fire, and I really don't feel like there's a spark here. I think you need to find your spark. I think you need to figure out what makes you ignite and get excited. And I think partly the Page of Cups is trying to help you kind of find that. But like, there does need to be something that you get lit up and like you go, yes, this is what I'm doing, and this is where I'm off. I'm off to do the thing, and that can be really important. Don't let these opportunities pass by, but allow yourself to accept what needs to happen and let things kind of come to an end. Allow things to come to an end by your choice. Because the longer you put this off, it really does feel like it's going to have to end at some point. You need it to end now. You know it, you do. For some reason, I keep getting journal prompt in my head, and I'm trying to listen to what your guardian angel is saying to journal about. Journal about what needs to be cut out, or who. Those next steps, so you know where to pick yourself up and what potentially to dive into. What nostalgic thing, what is the thing that you've wanted? If you have the capabilities, you can go back to those nostalgic things with a whole new personality. Well, a whole new perspective, actually, not a personality. A whole new perspective. So what is it from your childhood that you want to revisit? Because something you're going to find a lot of help in something being revisited. And that will help you reach the peak of the amazingness that is the Ace of Pentacles, which is just like this point of like exciting manifestation and so much like just the excitement of just starting something new in a way though that is like a plan. You have like the start of a plan, like the exciting brainstorming part. It feels like what this is and what's going to be happening. And you're going to have to get to this cooler brainstorming part. And that's what's going to help really support you. Yeah. There is definitely like figure out what your next step is, figure out what a couple of steps ahead are. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to tell you that now. Does not seem like it's going to go well. Like, no, like it's going to go well, but like one of those steps is not right. Like it's not going to actually happen the way you think it is, but you're going to be really happy you had all of those steps because you might skip one kind of ideal. So like I'm getting the message of like, make your 6-step plan. 6 is an arbitrary number, though I keep getting 6. Which 6s are in the tarot are like a growth cards. So it's very possible that this is a good, again, growing experience. With that 6 of Cups, we're looking at growing your inner child, healing, all that jazz. And yeah, you're like in 6 steps and know that like you might skip number 2, you might skip number 4 and go straight to like 3 or 5 or something. And that's okay. And you might not revisit the other 2. That's okay. Yeah. Pile 2. Thank you for letting me read with you today. Thank you for letting me listen to your guardian angel and allowing me to give you messages. I hope that this was helpful, and I wish you the best of luck in your next steps. Again, I know I mentioned this with that first card, but don't be afraid to look for professional help. That can be very, very beneficial in this, and especially with cutting some people off and realizing they're just not good for your life. It can be very, very hard. So, thank you for letting me be a part of this and allowing me to like get to listen in on you and your guardian angel. I appreciate it. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome. You've chosen the Rider-Waite Smith Tarot. I'm very excited. I recommend grabbing a journal and pen. This can be a very... There's probably some messages, and in order to remember those messages, I recommend... Oh, goodness. Throwing cards everywhere. I recommend listening and writing them down to help you remember things more easily and such. We are going to start with just finding the presence of your guardian angel, how you can feel the presence, and this might be a kind of an overarching idea. In the rest of the reading, we'll kind of see how it goes. But how can you feel the presence of your guardian angel is where we are going to start. And it's feeling like it wants to be shuffled some more. All right. This might be a minute. We might be here for a minute. This deck has thoughts and feelings. How can you... This one? How can you... No, it's not that one. How can you feel the presence? Lots more shuffling. How can you feel the presence of your guardian angel in your life at this time? How can you feel the presence of your guardian angel? How can you feel the presence of your guardian angel? How can you best... Yep. Okay. We got there. Sometimes it just takes a little longer. All right. And our card is the Knight of Wands. Oh! Now, the Knight of Wands, if you've been in my lives recently, has been making its presence known. And this card has been having a grand time. This card is super passionate. This is like, ooh la la, she's having fun. But like, also she's just like excited. The word lust comes into my head. I don't mean this in a romantic sense necessarily, but this like desire to live and have adventures and be excited about what's coming up and happening. The Knight of Wands feels like such the Wands card, and the Wands is fire. And I always say this with the fire cards, I know, but like, man, the spark of fire is important. And like the Knight of Wands gives me that, like, we're gonna go and blaze everything down and we're gonna like throw it all down. And in this case, we might be seeing a person. How do you know this presence? This is the person who is kind of igniting things, starting things. They are the person who is getting everything started. They're the spark that lights everything. This person is going to start a fire. And you might see this person. Now, it might not necessarily be an action or immediate thing kind of the deal. But I think the presence of, or the things that you might see and you go, that would make something go. Because this horse is going. This horse is ready. This guy is ready. They want to move. And whatever is getting you to move, that is the presence of your guardian angel. Your guardian angel, oh my goodness. This feels like your guardian angel is like, this is me. Hello, this is me. And I love that. Like, this is such an exciting card. I'm so like energetic as well. There was like, I feel like I've kind of like, I don't drink a lot of caffeine. I have bad reactions to it. It does not do good things for me. And I feel like I've had like a boost of energy, like just bam, let's go and do things. And that's what this Knight of Wands is giving me. This Knight of Wands just wants to be like, let's go do the thing. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. I'm just lots of good energy. This card, there's a couple Knight of Wands that I'm thinking of in my head, and they all like to run off the card. They look like they're ready to just escape the card. You're ready to run away. You're ready to go do things. That energy is what the presence of your guardian angel. If you have this spark, if you're like, well, I'm doing that, that's your guardian angel coming in and letting you, excuse me, little burp there. Your guardian angel is coming in and letting you know that this is the time. This is what we're doing. We're going and doing the things, and has been guiding you to do those next steps. Now, let's go for like a more tangible, what sign in your everyday world can your angel reveal? So you know that you're not alone. Like, how do we know when your angel is like present? So you're not feeling like you're lonely. Oh, so lonely. I got nobody to call my own. Interesting. I don't know why that song popped into my head, but it did. And then I, of course, thought of the flushed away slugs that sing it. So not as pretty as it could be. There is some interesting cards happening in here. It feels like this card is wanting to be known, but it feels like there's a middle card as well. And it's this one. So I think we're going to pull 2 cards for this. Don't usually allow that. I'm just kidding. I actually don't mind. If the cards are saying that 2 cards need to be pulled, 2 cards need to be pulled. And that's just how it is. Okay. So we're going to look at how your angel can reveal itself. Ooh, okay. We have the 8 of Swords and the Empress. All right. I think I get it. So sometimes it feels like we're trapped. We feel stuck. And the interesting thing is in this situation is that, like, because you can't see the big picture, you don't know that if you kind of like wiggle to the left or wiggle to the right, you could cut your bonds. You could get out of this. You could move on and be able to like do other things. And it can feel very hard. And this is, you know, the thing with getting tied up, it's not like you're tied up for a long time. It's usually like a sudden thing. All of a sudden you're tied up and you don't know what's going on. So now it's this time with the Empress coming in. And this feels like it's your guardian angel kind of like coming in to let you know, hey, things are going to be okay. Interestingly, I don't usually say this with the Empress, but like this motherly energy is coming. And it doesn't have to be from a woman. I want to be very, very clear that that's not what that means necessarily. Because I have met men who care so much about people, but if you think of like the traditional like motherly care thing, I think there's a reason that we have like rave moms and con moms, and like the term mom is meant in an endearing, loving way. And I think that's the energy we're trying to go for with this, is that there is somebody who can help you. There is somebody who you can lean on. Yeah, like the mom of the group. It's not always the female, it's not always a woman, but like the mom of the group. The parental kind of watching out for you, that person. That's the presence that you can like look for. And I would look for things that make you go, oh, that's my guardian angel kind of reminding me that they're there. I think it's in the sense of like, you know, the rave mom, the con mom, these different like areas that we have put a mom name to, I think is where you should look that. And maybe there's something that does remind you of your mom that you might see and go, oh, my guardian angel wants me to be aware. I know that can be a very hard thing if you've lost your mother and you did have a good relationship with them. That can be really rough. And potentially your guardian angel is your mom. And just know that, like, they're watching out for you. And you might see things that are... I usually do not do this because this is for specific people. But I am getting a very strong I love you from somebody. To somebody who sees this. Just so you're aware. Somebody needs that. Somebody needs that. That's I don't usually do that. I don't usually allow specific messages to get through, but I think some of you, you need to know that that person that's gone loves you. Now, there's something special about these top 3 cards. I'm not sure exactly what. And I'm going to need to move on because I need to. We're going to move on to what can... Okay, I'm trying to have these presences. Let me listen to the general message again. But for those of you, your guardian angel is your mom. They love you a lot. So, wow, that was very sweet. I'm sorry. Okay. What is the help you most need from your angel rather than what you think you need is what we're going to move on to. So what you need to be listening to, but you're probably not listening to, kind of a thing. The thing that you should be. And, okay. So this is the 3rd card, and that one feels like it's the 4th card. That's what's going on there. Okay. We have the Magician. Now, this is just 2 steps ahead of the Empress in the cycle of the major arcana. You have everything you need. Whatever you are sitting there going, I need X thing, I need Y thing, this thing isn't here, and Z needs to be part of this. Whatever. You don't need that. You have all the tools. The really cool thing here is that the Magician has all of the elements, all the suits in the tarot deck. They're all here. They're all ready. You are ready. You have the power and the knowledge to move forward and take on the next step. And I know you think there's more that you need to get, but you don't. You are actually ready. You're ready to keep going. You are ready to move into the Priestess, which is using those tools and actually moving forward and going forward and doing the things. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. You don't want that, but you just need to take the next step. You just need to go. Now, I know I said this is the 4th card. And now they're swapping spots on me. Because now I think it's the card underneath. And this is how... Hold on. Let me ask the question and we'll see which card. What earthly support? like this realm, not necessarily your guardian angel, but like what on this realm can help support you. This one. That was the original, yeah. Oh, we have the Three of Cups. Community. The friends you have. Reach out to them. This is... You're so excited moving in your own realm and like doing your own thing that you need to realize that my camera's shifting, sorry. I'm realizing things were moving. You're so excited to move in your own realm. And you know, again, you're ready to race off of this page. You're ready to keep going and do things. You need to slow down and reconnect. Check in with your friends. Check in with your community. Volunteering comes up. If you're not, like, you don't have reps in your community, go volunteer. Meet people. Talk to your neighbors. It's one of those things that can actually be some of the most beneficial things, is to create connections around you. I know not everybody likes to do it. I speak for myself, maybe. I don't always want to talk to people, but it's really good to talk to people. It's good to reconnect, and it's hard to reconnect sometimes. Sometimes we don't want to do it. Sometimes we don't want to. Sometimes we don't want to realize what's going on and what's holding us back potentially. What's potentially making us feel like... What is making us feel like... What is making us feel like we can't reach out to them? Yeah, if you have a journal... Yeah. If you have a journal, what is making you feel like you can't reach out? Because I bet it's tying back to this, where you feel like you need something else to you, but you don't. What is it that you're feeling you need? Feel free to pause this video at any point, and I hope you may have at certain points as you realize stuff. But this... Something feels blocking you from this. And I take some time, really think about what feels like is blocking you from allowing yourself to have a good time with others. Getting coffee, doing crafts together, whatever that is. Allowing yourself to do this is important. Know you have all of the things. Just know that you have all the things. And I think there's that scared isolation happening again. You don't need to worry. You don't need to worry. The Empress has got you. Your guardian angels got you. They're taking care of you. You've been equipped with the tools. You have all the stuff. You're now using them. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Magician the High Priestess, that's the card in between, is kind of this knowledge of using the tools. I think, from what I can tell, it seems like how to use those tools, and it's just a matter of actually putting them to use, which can be hard. And so, putting that all in, and allowing all of that to be a part of this is important. And you need to reconnect. Yeah. Reconnect. So, how can you best help yourself do so? How are we looking at that reconnection in the best way possible? This card here is calling out. Oh, we have the Five of Swords. Okay. This is an interesting card, and I want you to pause and just I want you to actually pause the video and tell me who you connect with in this. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel anything. You can write down those feelings, though. All right, I'm gonna assume you took some time. You've said who you connect with and what you feel. Do you feel like you've just been kicked around and you feel like you've been defeated? And that this defeated feeling is why you don't think you have what it takes to have friends? Are you feeling rejected and like people stole pieces of you and people stole things of you that you feel like you don't have what it takes? Or are you feeling like you just won? Now, I think from what I'm getting from everything, you're going to feel like you're rejected. But really where you are is this, you've won. Now, for those of you who feel like you've won and that you're getting all of the pieces, yes, you fought through stuff. You've fought out. You've taken off this isolation. You are trying to work. You are trying to get ahead. You're trying to do all the stuff. And that has, sometimes you clash with people. Sometimes you end up fighting. And that's part of this, is that sometimes you will lose people and things get cut off. I think also for those who feel defeated, cutting off isn't always a bad thing. Some parts get rejected, and it's okay to grieve it, though. I think that's important to remember here, is that it's okay to grieve that loss. The feeling of grief is different for everyone. And it's okay to grieve in whatever way makes sense for you. Just know that. Within the terms of the law, of course. But it's okay if for you grieving means a little bit of isolating and writing in a journal. It's okay that it's, I think for some of you, it's a matter of like, you haven't talked to people about it. Things hurt. And this might not even be a person who's been cut out. It could just be something that seems mundane and silly. And I think in the sense of like, logically, it doesn't feel like it's a big deal. And you're probably trying to convince yourself it doesn't feel like a big deal. Again, you're trying to run off. You're trying to run away. You're trying to run away. You're trying to run away. But it is. It's so much bigger than everything else. And you feel trapped. You feel isolated. You feel stuck. You have the sources to get out. You have all the tools you need. Reach out to people. This may not just even be people you're close to and friends. It may also be that you are needing to seek professional help. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. That can all be very important. Helping yourself is allowing yourself. The best way you can help yourself is allowing yourself to process this in the way that you need and what is best for you. And if that includes reaching out to somebody professionally or friends, that's a good thing. And that's okay. There might be a mentor of some sort too that might be of importance here. And the nice thing is that your guardian angel, I don't read flyaways, sorry. It's just bad shuffling. It's what I blame it on. So I don't read flyaways. But I think also here, for the final card, let me get back on track. The final card here is we're actually going to look at what blessings your angel is going to provide. Because again, this is your guardian angels thing. I know we focused on ourselves for a little bit and what we can do by ourselves. But your guardian angel wants to remind you that they're here to help still. And we have the sun. Oh, we have the sun. I love this card. This is a wonderful card. The sun wants you to know it's going to be okay. Lovely sunflowers. I don't know. Those sunflowers immediately popped out to me. Sunflowers in your life. Keep an eye out. The sun is a card that immediately turned this whole thing into, it's gonna be great. Like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. And that your isolating panic is not needed. It's gonna be okay. This is like the soothing, you're gonna be okay. And I think again that like motherly like soothing to your distress. going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Some of you are going to note different things on this card. Some of you are going to note the naked baby, the horse, the red fabric, the sunflowers was my immediate thing. Some of you, maybe the sun. I would take note. Whatever like stood out to you immediately, I would take a note. Write that down. And then keep an eye out for it, because your guardian angel is going to be trying to let you know that you're blessed and that things are going to be okay and that things are going to be fine, and that your guardian angel wants you to know that good times are ahead. It's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Oh, pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. You are stronger than you think. Far more powerful than you think. Yeah. You are somebody who can really, you can do some amazing and wonderful things, but you need to believe it. And we're really at the beginning of that. You're at this beginning of this new chapter, or this almost like a new book in yourself of like something has ended and like really ended for you. And we're like trying to find all the skills to like move forward. And this is your sign that you're doing it right and that you need to trust yourself, because you can. You really can move forward, and it will be all right. Thank you so much for letting me be the in-between for you and your guardian angel, and allowing me and trusting me to tell you about those messages. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, we're not doing that. I'm very appreciative of it, and thank you so much. I really liked this reading, and I hope it gave you hope, because you're stronger than you think. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to the Landscapes Tarot. I'm excited to read for you, and I'm excited to be allowed into this process of communicating with your guardian angel, and that thank you for trusting me, first off, to do that. I do recommend grabbing a journal or some notepad and pen to take some notes, because if you are clicking on this video, you clearly want to hear what they have to say, and listening and being able to receive that is important. Now, I am struggling to shuffle my deck. I hope that does not bode anything for this. I believe in us. All right. We're starting off with the presence of your guardian angel. Feeling the presence. What does that feel like? What does that seem like? I'm going to start shuffling hand over hand because it's this card. What is the presence of your guardian angel? What does that presence in your life look like at this time? My camera keeps shifting, so I'm gonna try and make sure it stops. Oh, I think we're good. We'll see. So how can you feel the presence of your guardian angel at this time? The Strength card. Oh, ooh, I like that. Okay. The things that give you strength. And specifically in birds, I almost want to say. Like, birds are so cool. Okay. The really cool thing about this Strength card is, like, we see the outline of the city, but the birds still live in the city, even though that's not necessarily their natural habitat. There's a strength to that. There's a power to that. There's this adaptability. And I think being aware of, like, birds is important. I just keep kind of getting this message of, like, birds. I don't know of any yellow birds off the top of my head, except for, like, a canary. But yeah, like, a yellow bird is it's the thing that's popping out. But this is a card of, like, strength, often compassionate strength. specifically. Obviously with the name strength, I suppose that doesn't feel particularly exciting, but like, how do you manage when things change? And this adaptability, I think, is going to be important in other things. But I think knowing that when things are tough, know that your guardian angel is there and supports you. So what sign in the everyday world does your guardian angel reveal themselves so that you know you're not alone? What sign are we seeing that makes you realize you're not alone in everyday life? And that card is actually this card. The Page of Pentacles. This moment of slowing down. Take your time. Yes. Oh, okay. Page of Pentacles. Oh, Page of Pentacles. You and I have been chatting at this point in the month. I've seen this card so many times this month, and it's, how is it showing in your life? It's the slow moving things. I think it's the inconveniences, which is crazy. I'm thinking of the like stuck in traffic moments. Those moments of pause that you don't want because you want to move. I think sometimes we end up at this little turtle pace, this slow tortoise pace, and what we really want is to just zip off and move along and keep going. And this is telling us that it's the moments of slowing down. I also think it's in the good moments of slowing down, drinking a cup of coffee, sitting down and taking a moment to journal or anything. But I think there's also, the underlying current is those moments where we don't want it. That's what I keep hearing, is like those moments that you don't want to slow down and you're being forced to slow down. Those moments. That's the moments to be thinking about. And, yeah, I just find that interesting that that's because it's pretty consistent here that it's like, what moments do you think are you trying to slow down but you're not? We're going to go into what your guardian angel is here to help you with. And it's not necessarily what you need, or what you think you need, I should say. Your guardian angel wants to help you, but the thing is that this is not going to probably feel like it's the thing you need. This is going to feel like it's potentially, it might slap you in the face. It might be something that you have been ignoring. But this is the thing you actually need, not the thing you think you need. And that's the Six of Pentacles. All right. Yeah, you got a lot of slow energy coming in here. That's like, hey, slow down, buddy. Pentacles are a slow suit in the tarot deck. An interesting thing with the Six of Pentacles to me is that this can be going both one of a couple ways. And with a general reading, there's multiple people. So we're going to discuss a little bit extensively into this card because there's a couple different ways that you might need to recognize the Six of Pentacles. One is you need to give. You have extra. You have had good luck. You've had a ton of growth. You've fought your battles. You've gotten good things. And here's like the literal, in this particular sense, the literal fruits of your labor. And you need to give them to your neighbor or give them to others. Pass them along. The other side of y'all need to receive it. You need to be able to open that door and actually take them. And be okay with that. And to say that it's okay. Some of you might be just nosy. But we're all on one side of this. I don't know why I said that. Some of you are just nosy. Why are some of you just nosy? Some of you just want to be in people's business. Oh, rude. Yeah, get yourself out of there. If some of you might have needed that message, get yourself out of that business. Yeah, clear message coming through. Get yourself out of the business. That's none of your business. For the rest of you, some of you need to give more, or to start giving of your whatever it is of what you have, which is probably also part of this, like, you're wanting to start something new, you're excited to start something new, but you need to like lean on the sources in the gifts you already have and keep giving those, and that'll help you be able to move forward. And some of you need to be okay with receiving help, receiving guidance. Some of you are this young page who wants to become a knight and then potentially royalty. But in order to get to that point, you have to get help. You have to, somebody has to help you train. Somebody has to help you get a job or be able to do whatever. In order to move up, you need to receive help. And for some, you need to give help. But both sides are important. Both sides need to be thought through. We're going to move on to kind of just like some self-work. And that's like in the sense of like what here on this plane can help you. And it's probably going to tie in with the Six of Pentacles. But what on this plane, not where you're a guardian angel, not that dimension or plane, like here on Earth, what or how can we support you? How can you support yourself? How can you, who can come in and support you? That's kind of what we're going to be looking at next here. Sorry, these cards are really wanting some shuffling. And it does tie with the Six of Pentacles, of course, because it's the help you need that you don't want. And this is also going to be like, this is probably some of that support. It's okay, it's not. No, it's none of those. It's this. Okay, it's this one. The Knight of Pentacles. Boy, we have some slow energy. Okay. You are having a rough time. I think I say this in like I know because boy have Pentacles been showing up for me this month. And they've been telling me to slow down and I don't want to. So I say that in a way of knowing. The Knight of Pentacles in this deck the Pentacles in this deck have been very, very loud to a lot of people this last month. The Knight of Pentacles is that next step of the page, that moving up. The interesting thing about the Knight of Pentacles, though, is that it's still slow. Elephants they can move faster, I will say. And I'm not saying a tortoise can't move when it wants to, but... Oh, interesting. I'm getting a person with this. I often don't read the court cards as a person, but there is somebody coming. It's not you. It's not you. You're not moving up. Nope. Nope. But somebody who can help you move up into the next step is coming. You have to receive their help or be able to help them. Most likely you're receiving help. That's usually harder for everybody to do is receive help. This person knows how to get to the next step. And they're a methodical person. I would say efficient isn't quite the word I want. This person knows what's going on. This person knows what the next step is, what they desire. I'm going to look up, give me one moment here, because I want to look up the Pentacles guidebook, because I want to see, I can't remember what they say for the Knight specifically, but I think, okay, they use patience and conservation. We have patience and conservation. Patience, I think, no surprise, a very patient person. Yeah. I think what it is like somebody who like has a routine, is patient. They're patient enough to teach you is also part of it, because you're going to want to scamper around like a little squirrel and they're going to be like, no, we're going to slow down like you need to be, but you don't want to be, but you need to be. and we're going to be able to move forward. Yeah. It feels like somebody's coming to help you with this. Now, in tangent with that, and because it's really, you want action, how can you help yourself? Now, this did not take long to come up. How can you help yourself? Oh, the One of Pentacles. Boy, I don't know what's going on in the rest of your life that you need to slow down and Lots of pentacles. I swear there's other cards in this deck. Wow. Wow. Lots of pentacles. Okay. And I'm curious about that last card, and we'll talk about it more once we get there. But things you can do now is start organizing, planning. The journal you should be having in your hands. You should be sitting and making lists. This is a good time to revisit your 1 month, 5 month, 6 month, year, 5 years, 10-year plan, whatever you got. All of the steps. What is your goals? What are we trying to achieve? What is the thing that we're trying to adapt to? Because I bet something has changed. We don't like it. We're trying to adapt. It's hard. It takes time. It's not going as fast as we would like. So let's realistically, take some time to realistically think about this. Because clearly you need to slow down. How do you figure out what the next step is best for you in this situation? Because you can get there. And I think you have a lot more resources than you think you do. But you're not necessarily willing to take them on. Now, I do also want to find out what our guardian angel, what your guardian angel is blessing you with. It's this card. The last 2 cards were far more loud. And we have the 5 of Cups. Okay, we've got another element. Okay. The 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups can sometimes feel like things have cracked away and now all the water is gone. And it's hard and it's difficult and it can be a real big challenge and it sucks. It's just it's a moment of loss. You're having a moment of loss. And now you might be going, well, how is this a blessing from the guardian angel? Really what's happening here is knowing that there's actually more than just this tiny cup. Look at the rest of the landscape. Expand your view. Because it's not about this. It's about everything. It's about looking at all of it. Now, that doesn't mean you don't grieve. That doesn't mean you don't get to pause. And I think this is actually, you have this moment to slow down because you need it. Something is going to kind of tip over and spill out. Something's going to fall apart. I don't believe your future is set in stone. So if this is something that you would like to prevent, you need to start taking steps, and not in a way of, I'm going to shut off and I'm going to emotionally make sure that I'm, I can't be affected if I turn myself off and not allow emotions to affect me or anything. No, that's not what we're talking about here. What we are talking about here is being ready. Maybe you, and if that sounds like you, maybe it's actually letting yourself cry. Allow those emotions to spill out so that there's nothing having to break when it does. Instead of violently breaking apart, allow yourself to scoop some of that out. Allow yourself to relieve the stress. I think a lot of people, I'm a pressure cooker and I end up popping kind of thing. And we're not trying to pop. We're trying to just allow things to cook and, get marinate and stuff. And we're trying to allow all those things. And I think it's interesting that your guardian angel is trying to help you with the emotional side of this. I think this is also it just feels like a very emotionally heavy card, because it feels like you have very much self-isolated, and that part of what's concerning to me and why I was very curious about what this card would be is that we didn't get a single swords, wands, or a cup until here. And I don't think this is cups in the sense that of relationships. This feels more of an emotional cups. And allowing yourself to have the movement of water happen in this slowing time. Water likes to move on the easiest path. Sometimes you need to allow your emotions to have the easy path. Allow them to have their moments. Healthily, of course. Watch a sad movie. Allow yourself to cry. A lot of stress, maybe a comedy is good to relieve some of it. Or maybe you need to watch a thriller, a controlled anxiety moment kind of a thing. I know some people watch scary movies because it's like controlled anxiety. They know it's going to give them anxiety, but like it's a controlled way, and some people need that, and that helps them. That can be a thing. So there's a bunch of different ways of like allowing yourself. But what's interesting to me here is that I don't think you've reached out to people very much. And I think you should. I think that's also part of this Knight of Pentacles, is that there's somebody in your life who can help you take the next step, but also asking for help, giving to others, reach out to the community that you have, reach out to your friends and family, allowing yourself to sink into those around you is really important. There's no wands or swords here, and those are the fire and air. And these tend to be very fast. This is probably where you actually sit normally, is in this. The combo of sword and air, I wouldn't be surprised, is probably where you worry. When a spark hits and the wind picks up and it just sweeps through, that I think is what you're used to, is burning everything down as you go. And this is a time of regrowth and rebuild, and you're uncomfortable with it. And it's hard to do. I don't want to say it feels icky, but it feels wrong inside you. It feels almost like this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. But you are. This is the time to allow yourself to rebuild and regrow. It doesn't mean that things don't get devastated, and it's okay to, again, cry and be upset about things and not be happy with the way things are. But I do think it is important to take the time to appreciate growth that happens. Things break, but things grow. And that can be a hard reality of balance, is that things have to be destroyed in order to grow again. I was recently at a place where you could see the like growth of like underbrush and stuff that had happened after a fire had come through. So like there was dead trees, like, you know, the like dead tree trunks basically all over, but with all of this green growth starting to grow up. And there's a thing called fireweed. Fireweed specifically does well in a area that has had like this extra, the extra carbon that happened. I believe it's the carbon. Somebody is going to probably be mad at me, but it's like the extra carbon, from my understanding, that happens from a fire causes fireweed to just be able to go through and have a good time growing. It's good for that particular plant. And it was such a pretty flower, and it was interesting to think about how so much had to get destroyed for that plant to live its best life. And in a sense here, I think it's interesting that I think you're almost the fireweed, where you have to realize that you went through and burnt down everything, which is, in a sense, what you feel comfortable with. But then that fireweed is the part that's the slow growing, coming back. But it still keeps the fire part, in a sense, and uses that power. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I think there's some hard stuff in here. I'm almost kind of happy I'm not sitting next to you, or you're not in like a chat room or something. Like, I can't get a response from you because I feel like you're very resistant to this. I'd be curious about a year from now, maybe 2 years actually, how, if this resonates. But granted, probably you're not going to remember in 2 years to come back to this. But I'd be curious if you did, like, what 2 years from getting this reading and looking back looks like, and what you can pinpoint out, because I think that would be interesting. I'm sorry to bring hard news, I think, is my first thing. That it's never my favorite. Because it's not fun when people are resistant to a reading. or there's resistance in a reading. But I'm excited because I think you're going to have so much growth. It just takes time, takes longer than you want. I get it. It's frustrating. Granted, I don't know the nuances of your situation. But your guardian angel's rooting for you. Your guardian angel's also in here for the long haul, which is nice. I'm very excited that that's the case because you're not alone. The guardian angel's with you. Your guardian angel's got your back, man. Dude, your guardian angel's really looking out for you if it's willing to do this slow pace. You and your guardian angel are close. Very, very wonderfully. I think you push them off a little too much, though. Allow them to speak. Allow them to talk. Pile 4, thank you so much for letting me read for you today. And trusting me again to do this and kind of be the in-between for your guardian angel and you. I wish you the best of luck in this journey. As long as it's going to be well worth it, I think. You just got to keep putting in the work.